Alright, so since I didn't get the chance to do chapter 3 last night, I'll do both chapters 3 and 4 tonight in 2 different videos. Alright, so chapter 3, in which Anastasia has a boring photo shoot for Christian Grey and they go out for coffee. Let the nightmares begin. So in chapter 2, Anastasia suggested to Christian Grey that she should have a photo shoot for him in order to get a photo for the newspaper. And so she's like, well, if I can find a photographer. And then she and Kate conveniently remember that their Hispanic friend Jose Rodriguez is a photographer. So let's go see people get all embarrassed and jealous about all this stupid stuff. So she suggests Jose, and great idea. And then Kate asks her about Christian, and Anastasia gets all huffy and stupid, and she's like, "Oh, Kate, you know I blush all the time. It's an occupational hazard with me. Don't be ridiculous." I snap. And it's like, really? It's just really stupid, and she gets all angry for no apparent reason, which is one of the problems I have with her as a character, is that throughout the book, or so far that I've gotten through, she'll just get randomly mad for no really good reason and get all, like, defensive and stuff. And it's just really kind of stupid because she has no proper reason to. And it just reminds you that nobody really talks like that. Like, I wouldn't snap that at anyone. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. It's way too formal to be angrily quoted. So then she has more dreams and kind of nightmares that night, where she's like tossing and turning, dreaming of smoky gray eyes, coveralls, long legs, long fingers, and dark, dark, unexplored places. And it's like, really? Is it not blatantly obvious that you're thinking about Christian Grey? Now stop. Stop it right now. So then they go to the hotel the next day, and she sees Christian Grey and is overwhelmed by his beauty, and he's like, "Miss Steele, we meet again." And then she's like, "Oh my, ... he really is quite ... And then continues on about something else completely different, and it's just like, please don't do ellipses in the narrative. It's really annoying and really juvenile, except for the fact that she uses the phrase, "oh my," and she's like, what, 22? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. So then she introduces her friend Catherine to Grey for the first time, and then she gets all like really fucking judgmental and is like, "I remind myself that Kate has been to the best private schools in Washington. Her family has money, and she's grown up confident and sure of her place in the world. She doesn't take any crap. I'm in awe of her." And I'm like, really? Do you need to add bullshit like that? She sounds so judgmental, and this is like your best friend. Why are you doing this? So then they have this really boring photo shoot, and Jose gets all jealous and whatnot, and he's scowling and the whole time, and it's just really stupid. And then Grey's like, "Hey, I'm gonna invite you out to coffee. Let's go do that." And then Catherine talks to her before they go, and she's like, "Anna, there's something about him." Her tone is full of warning. Duh. "He's gorgeous, I agree, but I think he's dangerous, especially for someone like you." "What do you mean, someone like me?" I demand, affronted. "An innocent like you, Anna? You know what I mean," she says, a little irritated. I flush. So apparently she's a friend with a sixth sense. Woo, as if it wasn't already apparent that he had something up his sleeve. So it turns out that Anastasia doesn't really like coffee. So she meets him out in the hallway, all embarrassed and whatnot, and they go into the elevator, and then there's like this couple like making out, and it's really awkward because then they have to go down to the bottom floor with this couple that's all embarrassed for being caught, and foreshadowing. So then they begin to hold hands. Ew. And then they walk 4 blocks to a coffee place. Except for the fact that they're in Portland. There should be a coffee shop on every corner in Portland. Why are you walking 4 frickin' blocks for coffee that you're not going to drink? So, they're holding hands, right? And she starts freaking out, and she says, "Outside, it's a mild May Sunday. The sun is shining, and the traffic is light." Grey turns left and strolls to the corner, where we wait for the crosswalk to change. He's still holding my hand. I'm in the street, and Christian Grey is holding my hand. No one's ever held my hand before. Like, really? No one's ever held your hand before? It's really kind of sad. Not even your mom? Really? Really? Alright. So then her subconscious starts talking to itself, which is really weird because in 50 Shades of Grey, the subconscious has like a persona of its own, and so like she pictures it doing stuff, which is really awkward. So anyway, they get to the coffee shop and he's like, what would you like? And she's like, can I have English breakfast tea? And so she gets the English breakfast tea, actually her favorite brand, the Twinings English breakfast. And so she says, this is my favorite tea. And then she pops the tea bag into the teapot and almost immediately fishes it out again with my teaspoon. As I place the used tea bag back on the side of the plate, he cocks his head, gazing quizzically at me. I like my tea black and weak, I mutter. As an explanation. That's not even tea. If you put it in the pot and then you immediately fish it out, like it's not even tea flavored. It's not even tea flavored water. What? You're an Anglo, what is it? Hold on, I gotta think of this. You are a lover of English stuff, and yet you can't handle tea. What is this? Anglophilia? I think that's what it's called. For a love of, like, English stuff. And she can't even drink tea. What is this? Stupid. That's not tea. So then he asks if Jose is her boyfriend or whatever, and she's like, no. And then he says, please don't look down. I'd like to see your face. It gives me some sort of clue what you might be thinking. He breathes. You're a mystery, Miss Steele. Which is exactly what Edward Cullen said to Bella Swan in Twilight at some point. You're a mystery and I can't figure you out. And it's just like, oh, yes, now I remember that this is indeed a Twilight fanfiction. So then they keep going on about stupid stuff and just idle chatter about personal things, but not really personal things, so it's just stupid. And then she finds out that his dad is a lawyer, his mom is a pediatrician, they live in Seattle, and she's like, oh, ... He's had an affluent upbringing. As if it wasn't completely obvious. Really? Stupid. So then she focuses on that. And then anyway, she asks him if he has a girlfriend. She blurts out, holy crap, I just said that out loud. And then he says, no, Anastasia, I don't do the girlfriend thing. And then she's like, oh, what does that mean? He's not gay. Maybe he is. So of course that's the first thing that goes through her mind. And then she decides that I have to get away from him. I have to go. I have to try to reassemble my thoughts. I walk forward and I trip, stumbling headlong into the road. Shit, Anna, Gray cries. He tugs the hand that he's holding so hard that I fall back against him just as a cyclist whips past, narrowly missing me, heading the wrong way up this one-way street. So she could have died by a cyclist, and it makes me sad that she didn't. So then she's like absolutely enamored that he's caught her, and then she looks at his eyes and she says, but eventually my attention is drawn to his beautiful mouth, and for the first time in 21 years I want to be kissed. I want to feel his mouth on mine. And I almost gagged. But I did laugh when she almost fell into the street because it was just so freaking apparent that it was going to happen, pretty much like Bella Swan. And at this point, we are at 12 murmurs, 5, or actually probably 6, cocking of the heads. Raising the eyebrows has happened 13 times. There's been 11 mutters and 3 times that people have rolled their eyes. And that's it for Chapter 3. On to Chapter 4.